Sie hören Sport und Musik.
Das Spiel ist aus! Deutschland ist Weltmeister!
In a world where fans fight over whether to call it football, or soccer, two German men defy the odds and call it Fußball. Bringing you inside the German-American football experience. And now, here are your hosts, the Schnitzel Boys.
Hallo!
Hi!
Willkommen! Hello!
Bienvenue! Welcome
Bienvenue! Buenos
to
dias!
the Schnitzel Boys podcast this Monday night. Monday night is Schnitzel night. Good evening, Stefan. How are you?
Good evening, Bjorn. I'm okay. I'm not bad. I had a fun weekend.
Oh, that's
A
nice.
packed weekend, but a rewarding weekend. How about yourself?
Yeah, same. I mean, I don't know. Yours sounds better than mine, maybe. I don't know.
I was on set over the weekend. I filmed a little comedy short.
Oh,
which I
on
do
set.
sometime.
You were on set.
I was
Yes,
on
I was
set in
not.
Hollywood.
I was not on set this weekend.
No, but you were doing post as you always do. You're a postman.
Yeah,
I'm
in
there's
the dungeon.
production, and post production. I'm production. You're post production.
That's right.
What we do. That's right. I do a little.
I spent one day on set back in the day when I thought I wanted to be a camera person, and spent one day on set, and they made me watch a truck for the whole day, and I was like, I'm not going to learn anything here. So then
What do you mean? What do you mean watch a truck to make sure no one would take it?
like, there was like a bunch of gear on the truck. The truck came, they unloaded the truck, and then they said, okay, you stay here with the truck. And I was like, what do you mean?
That's a rookie. That's a rookie.
Yeah, I was like, it's like, I understand it's my first day. I'm not expecting to direct, but I guess I was looking for a little more than that, and I was like, yeah, this is not it. So then I went to post, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Geschichte. No, but that's it. I work on my side job is I work at a studio, so I keep I've been a PA, I've done crew plenty, and one of my earlier days on site was it was like an ABC pilot that they were filming.
Mhm.
And the pyrotechnic effects guy,
Oh,
who's like a working guy, does a lot of Marvel, blah blah blah. But in crew culture, in union crew culture and Yahtzee culture, their sons get first dibs on your job. That's sort of the thing. It's like that in Broadway, Local One, and the theater. That's why it's so hard to become a Broadway crew person, because unless it's your dad, you can't get that job unless their son says no. And
it's sort of like MLS with Romeo Beckham
and what's his face, Neville, right?
Neville,
and the Wolves. Aren't there three Wolves? There's like an Owen Wolf and
But anyway, don't let me derail your tale.
Well, anyway, his son's job was he was supposed to hang out overnight and just make sure the set doesn't burst into flames. That's what his job was. He had to sit there by himself entirely. He was 17, I think. He was very. I surprised him because he didn't know I would be there too. I walked in on set. He's drinking Mountain Dew Code Red and playing an MMO, like a computer game on his computer.
Mm-hmm.
Just he thought it was by himself, and he did a double take, and I was just standing there watching him. And he's like, "Oh, hello," and he was very sweet, very polite, and I talked nerdy tech stuff with him, and he is an FX trainee. He's getting into effects makeup. So I said, "Oh, do you know Greg Nicotero?" He's like, "No." Do you know Tom Savini? He's like, "No, I've never heard of that man before."
Well, those are some deep cuts. I mean, I know who these people are, but that's because I'm old.
No, but hold on. But what if you're and you're a film buff, right? You're a film buff, you know films.
Ish. It used to be, for sure. Not so much anymore. I don't keep up.
But like, what if you're getting into FX though? If you're in FX, shouldn't you know who Tom Savini is, or am I wrong?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
He was a young child. He's not not
He was
burdened
very sweet and very
not
nice. He's a
burdened
nice
by
guy.
the history. It's good, he wasn't watching porn. It's not, he's showing some promise.
Not that I know of. I mean,
See,
also it's an 8-hour shift.
Hans Wolf is saying hello and hola.
Oh, there you are.
His last name is Wolf. He's part of the Wolves.
That's right. Well, there's 3 of them. Josh Wolf has 3 kids that play in MLS,
Josh
doesn't
Wolf.
he? It's like, because didn't one score 2
Does
weeks
he?
ago?
I don't
Owen
know.
Wolf?
Well,
this is the wrong hour.
Owen Wolf.
Yours
Right,
Wolf.
we're in the Deutschland hour. I mean,
The Deutschland hour.
what are we gonna? There's not that much good. Not that many good things to say about Germany these days.
Germany had a game.
I just want to say, the episode title is "How to Fix the German National Team," and you wrote that. I didn't write that. I don't know. I don't know how. Like,
I always come up with a theme. Whenever I design these episodes earlier in the day, I'm like, what's the theme? What's the talk?
Good. No, I mean,
and
I
the
think
talk of the town is the German national team. There's pressure on Flick. Rumor is that he might be canned this summer. Maybe if they lose against Colombia, it might be canned, which we talked about earlier. You said is very uncharacteristic of the
they don't usually panic like that.
Right.
And who are they going to get is always the other question. Who are they going to get that's better than Nagelsmann for the national team?
Julian Nagelsmann hanging out. He's sort of just there. I would hate that, by the way. I'm not a Nagelsmann stan. I'm not against him, but for the national, between Nagelsmann and Flick, I'll take Flick. However, if you were to say fire
it seems
Flick
it seems an odd fit for him. I don't know, somehow. I mean, but he hasn't. Seems like there were a lot of other jobs open and he hasn't taken any of them. So who knows what his plan is? But yeah, is he holding out? He's holding out for. He inherited Hansi's job in Bayern. Now he wants to inherit it for the national team. All right, I don't know. Can Julian Nagelsmann go put himself in and kick the ball into the goal? I don't think so.
No, that's why he
retired
at like 19.
That is how to fix. This is actually it. This is how to fix the German national team. Is somebody needs to kick the ball into the goal.
That would be fair. Luka Waldschmidt just got signed over to where is he going? He's going to RB Leipzig or something. I need to look this up. Luka Waldschmidt, who was once very promising and stopped being promising. He was sort of our future striker once upon a time with Freiburg.
Yeah, Daniel Young is getting excited about seeing Germany in October. You got to get on the party bus. Hans Wolf has the party party bus going to Hartford. I mean, I'm not. I don't have invitation privileges for the party bus, but I perhaps we should all go. We should all go. We should all go. I'm very excited about it. Stefan is going to miss it because he's going to be in Germany. Ironically, the one time that the German national team is not around is when he's going to Germany. So, yes. But everybody else, the rest of the other half of the Schnitzel boys is very excited about this.
You know where I'll be actually? I think. What's the date of that game?
You're going to be at my brother's house in Munich.
No, I'm going to be in Holland.
Oh,
so I might not even be in Germany. So I think
we had some. Oh, I guess that's for our. It's for our too. How much do I pay for travel and tickets to you? Oh, I don't have any. I have neither travel nor tickets. Hans Wolf has the travel. I don't know. When do tickets go on sale? We have to find out. We will monitor this and we will keep you posted on what we find out. I don't have any. I mean, unfortunately, we don't have an inside track.
116 days, 17 hours, 42 minutes, and 0 seconds. There's a countdown on the U.S. Soccer site. It's October 14th at noon my time, so 3 p.m. Eastern time. And it's at East Hartford. You can put it on your calendar, but tickets are not yet available. I'm assuming they'll be available a month or two.
What day of the week of that is that? Is that like is it a Saturday?
October 14th. I have to look that up. October 14th, 2020. I imagine it's a Saturday, right? 14th,
I think it's probably a Saturday.
2023. Oh, I just do it on my computer calendar here. I need to.
Well, anyway.
October 14th.
Um,
It's Saturday. It's the second Saturday in October. So it's a Saturday. Which means MLS means NYCFC is probably playing that day.
Well, they'd probably take the.
Do they?
I mean, sometimes they take international breaks off. I don't know.
Sometimes.
Well, then I'm going to go see NYC. I mean, of course.
Wait a minute. Is that true? If NYCFC and Germany kicked off in the same day in the same area, you would skip Germany and watch NYCFC?
No, probably not. In this case, I mean, this is
once in a lifetime.
This is a once in a. I mean, once in a
Not
while.
lifetime,
I don't know,
but,
lifetime, but like, yeah, once in a
every 5
blue
years.
moon, this happens. So yeah, I would definitely. I'm definitely going to go. But I mean, it's hard for it. I could probably do both if it starts at 3.
Yeah, you could probably just catch it.
Can go for the double header.
But let's hope MLS is off that week. Like they were on this week, but I totally missed it. We're not going to talk about that. Yeah, that's for next time. But Germany played a game.
Yeah, we spoke about the Ukraine game last time.
That's right.
And now they played Poland.
In Poland.
And my expectations of the German team currently are so low that I thought they had a pretty good game, even though they lost.
They lost
1-0 on the road in Poland, which obviously is not the result you want, but I thought they played okay. I mean,
how about this, Bjorn?
Yeah.
Bjorn?
Tell me.
Right now, it's the UEFA Nations League finals, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know it was the Nations League final. My mom texted me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's the final." Didn't Spain just win? Did they just beat Croatia in the penalties shootout for the UEFA Nations League title?
Yeah, that's what happened.
But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because Germany's playing friendlies. Why are they not? Were they relegated? Is it because they're hosts? Why are Germany not playing in the Nations League?
They were playing in the Nations League. There was a group stage, and we did not advance because
we got relegated, right?
We're not very good. I don't know that we were. No, previously we got relegated, but then they expanded the groups, and so in the end we did not get relegated. I think in the most recent one, I don't think we got relegated, but I am actually I'll look this up while you speak.
The reason I brought that up is because let's pretend these were Nations League games. They mattered. Let's pretend Ukraine and Poland were Nations League games. They got 1 point out of 6.
Yeah, that's not good.
Bad, right? They would have gotten relegated again. Bad. So like, I don't know where you're coming from with this whole. Hey, they play.
Well, I have more. I have.
Right.
Obviously, I'm not talking about the result. I'm not saying like losing 1-0 to Poland is the best we can hope for these days. By the way, England got relegated, not Germany. Italy, Hungary, Germany, England was the final standings. I had to remind myself. So Italy made the semis. We didn't advance, so that's why we're not. We were in the Nations League, but we didn't make it very far because we're not very good right now.
True.
So
and
what I thought
is so unimportant and uninteresting that it doesn't really matter. Like no one's really.
Well, I mean, this was before. This was pre-World Cup, and so yeah, I think Thomas Müller actually even said that these are glorified friendlies. Like he wasn't really. You know, that was when we still thought we were World Cup contenders.
Well,
so that's when we could scoff at the notion of the Nations League. Now we wish we were competing in the Nations League. But anyway, well, what I thought was good is that, you know, if you remember 3-3 against the Ukraine and not just in this game, like over the course of the last however many, it's just been the defense has just been leaky AF. Right. And it's hard to, you know, like where they're not scoring, but that obviously is worse if you have if you let in 3 goals every game. And I mean, that has not been a rare occurrence that this team gives up 3. So this time they only gave up 1, and that one was kind of a janky set piece goal that Ter Stegen probably after the fact feels like he maybe should have gotten to. Mm-hmm. And other than that, there there was very little from Poland actually that they generated. So defensively, and especially the counterattack, which against the Ukraine, which is not, it's not exactly a juggernaut of a team, but the Ukrainian counterattack looked dangerous every time. And I thought that they had that under control more so than we've seen in a while. And I thought Malik, is that his name? Malik Thiaw was by far the best player on the German.
Yeah, he had a good debut. It was his debut, I believe.
Was his debut. So, obviously I don't want to fall into the trap of the average U.S. men's national team fan who after 90 minutes proclaims we have found the savior. But this was by far the most competent looking center back duo, Rüdiger and Thiaw, that we've seen in some time, I feel.
Right.
So those were the pluses. And
when the counters came, so Germany has two big problems: defense and offense.
Right. And defense
looked very shaky. Whenever a counter came, it was like a hot knife through butter. It was a lot of ball watching
against
from the German
Ukraine.
defenders.
You mean
Against the Ukraine when they came out, and just in general with the national team
recently, yes.
When they come at us,
I felt that was better. I felt that was better in this game with this center back pairing. I thought. But then again, with Poland, there's Lewandowski, and the other big news is Kuba retired. I didn't even know he was still playing. That was very sweet. No,
it was very sweet.
Yeah,
Borussia Dortmund legend,
Bundesliga legend. Really? Yeah, Jakub Błaszczykowski, known as Kuba.
Yeah,
I don't know why
he's number 16 on the 16th minute. Everyone applauded. He hugged his family. It was nice. It was like
very, very sweet.
It was a moving moment, and it was like a good appreciation for him. So good for him. Leva is still out there, but like towards the end of the game, they put on a player from Derby County in the English third division. So it's like this is the quality of player because Poland, they're one of their best players plays for Charlotte FC. That's what we're talking about here. I'm not saying we're going to win the Euro based on this performance. I'm not I'm just trying to explain.
No, I understand. Yeah, context. No, I appreciate it. Context is important. It's got to be put in perspective. We've had some pretty shitty performances lately, especially defensively, and I thought compared to that, this was a step up. Now, is that going to be a fluke? I don't know. Is that going to mean something? We'll see. We'll see later. I thought there were other pluses. I thought Robin Gosens is
great,
fun to see. I just love that guy, and it's nice. It was nice to see him back.
He had that kick out of the box, right? That almost he had like a
and he had like he's just a wild man, and when him and Marcus Wolf came. Marcus or Marius? Marcus Wolf.
Marius.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I think it's Marius.
Marius Wolf.
Another Wolf.
Another Wolf, not related to Josh or Hans.
That we know of.
We're speculating. So when he came off the bench, he looked good. I think the fullbacks have been a huge problem. I think also because with the kind of offense that the team plays, where it's a little bit plodding, a little bit like sort of going back and forth, a lot of passing.
He also uses wing backs, right? It's a 3-2-3 with two wing backs on the side. It's like a 5. Maybe I'm thinking it was 5. It was 5 in the back, a 3-person back line, 2 wing backs, 2
against Poland. Are you
or I mix up with Ukraine? Actually, let me.
I think there was 4. I think it was a 4.
Let me look it up.
I thought it was a 4 because it was Thiaw and Rüdiger.
But against Ukraine, it was 5, right? Am I wrong? I remember that lineup.
I think you're right about that.
But maybe not against Poland.
But anyway, the fullbacks just need to have some bite offensively, or else you're just really at a disadvantage. And I think David Raum, I thought, was going to be the guy. He hasn't had a really good year and hasn't played that well for the national team. On the right, we had Klostermann, and I don't know. So, but I think
here's the lineup, by the way. No, I was right. So it's Andre ter Stegen in goal.
Yeah.
Chiao, center back. Tito Kehrer and Tony Rudiger on his right and the left. And that's our back three.
But I thought
And then
Kehrer was more of a fullback. No, who was on the right?
Jonas Hoffman is the right fullback.
Okay.
Benjamin Henrichs is the left fullback. Then Kimmich and Chan in the middle. Wirtz, Musiala as wingers, and Havertz up front as the 9.
Okay.
So it's like a
I guess
wing-back system going up and down the field.
I thought of Kehrer as the fullback somehow.
I mean,
he was terrible. They were Kehrer and Henrichs were both bad, and Henrichs came out at halftime, was replaced by Gosens. So that was a real upgrade.
And Marius Wolf, I think, came in.
And Marius Wolf came in very late, but he just seems, I don't know. Those two seem like the starters to me. I don't know. Klosterman, he's kind of, I don't know. He just doesn't have it. And there was some, anyway, I think those were the bright spots. So I feel like if we found our back line of the future, the Gosens, Thiaw, Rüdiger, Wolf, then I think maybe we'll look back at this. We'll look back at this game as the beginning of better days. But
let's hope. Knock on wood. I love the optimism. Let's hope.
But those were the offense was the same
Who
as
needs
before.
Depth?
A lot of good passing.
Who needs depth? As long as those 4 guys are healthy, we're in good shape.
Well, I mean, they're not but I think it's time, right? It's not like we have a year before the Euros. It's not clear who especially defensively. There's been, the Schlotterbecks and the Zule is not even there now. He's like, Bela Kotchap is hurt. I don't know. The back line needs to solidify. That's very, very important. Everything else, I mean, I don't know. We're not gonna unless. Yeah,
what we're hoping is this following Bundesliga season, this new rookie comes out. He's like, holy crap. This RB Leipzig dude they found.
Mukoko all of a sudden.
He's a center back. He becomes a center back. Yeah, no, a center back.
Yeah.
He's like this rock star rookie center back who's just like, holy crap, that guy's rock solid. Let's hope that happens this season. So
but maybe Thiaw and Rüdiger are it though. They can. I mean, Rüdiger is the best one of the bunch, and Thiaw had a very good game. I don't watch. Where's he? He's in Italy, right? I don't watch a lot of Serie A, so I don't know. I had not seen him before, and I was like, oh, that guy can play. Excellent.
Yeah. No, I'm all about it. Excellent, Chia. Good debut. He's welcoming him. Let's hope your optimism is well suited.
Well, I'm grasping for bright spots. Well, I mean, and Hansi
how do we
Flick
fix the German national team? We need to fix the back line. Back line still in progress, but against Poland was improvement, against Ukraine. Now let's see how they deal with Colombia. So
tomorrow, and Hansi Flick has said the result is important.
I mean, is that him cluing us to be like, Rudi Völler told me if we lose, I'm canned? Is that what he said? But so that's the defense. Offense, so with Germany in general, the reason we have a problem with defense and offense, we're going to bring it up, is because our midfield is actually pretty okay. Our midfield's fine. We hold the ball well. We know when we have the ball, we're good to go, but we pass it sideways and sideways and sideways. The problem is, again, with our offense, is they just don't know each other. They don't communicate well to each other. They don't get each other. They're not being creative. They're not moving the ball around romantically. They're not like, I don't know what's going on up there. Like during the Ukraine game, for 70 minutes, they were just futzing around with the ball. And with the Poland, it was, I guess, they had a little bit more of a bite. But like, as far as creating real chances,
no, not a ton. There's not a lot of, I mean, there is a little bit of, we've said this before. They clearly have a mandate to not just sort of blindly cross into the box. And so, I mean, not like there's anybody there to finish anyway. And so, there's a lot of passing, which that's been the case in our greatest iterations of this team too. It's except that, that sometimes they go in. This one, currently there is there's not a lot that really happens. Although I think somebody hit the crossbar, right, and then goes and
Well,
said a little bit of,
Chesney had a good game. Respect to
also
Wojciech
true.
Szczesny.
Yes, also true.
He had a couple good clearances, good saves. So there were opportunities. Like Germany, if they finished a little better, would have had a goal or two. But like, so maybe there were a couple more chances then with the Ukraine. I mean, I guess they scored 3 goals in the Ukraine, so I guess I don't know. But like,
Well,
they had a couple
the
chances.
late Havertz
Yeah,
surge,
Havertz
which
penalty.
was really kind of out of character. Yeah, he had like a couple of bruiser like moments against the Ukraine that we are not used to seeing from him. He's going to Arsenal, it seems, apparently officially now.
It is interesting, but good for him. I'm an advocate for people leaving Chelsea.
Chelsea have problems. Everybody seems to be leaving Chelsea. Last season they had too many players. Now they're going to end up being like, hey, do we have anybody left? But
so here we go. I'm looking at the team stats. Okay, so Germany had 26 shots to Poland's 2. They had 9 shots on target to Poland's 1. 9 shots on target. Interesting.
Yeah, that should
Maybe
be good for a goal.
Possession,
what is the XG? Do you have an
70
XG? You have an XG?
I have to look up the XG. The possession is 76% to Poland's 24%, which is also pretty heavy.
I mean, the
check out the XG.
That's always the case, right? The possession
doesn't really matter, right?
Possession doesn't really matter when it comes to those kinds of games. No.
XG, where do you find this stuff?
I'll look it up. You tell me.
Footy 2? No, what's it called? Transfer Market? Not Footy 2. It's from a long time
I
ago.
like FB Ref is my go-to.
Do it up. But maybe I'm being a little unfair. Like I guess they had a little more bite to it. But at the end of the day, they lost 1-0 in Poland. It's just like,
well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I think, and we said the same thing. I didn't want to say it again because we said it already against Ukraine. This is currently not a lucky team, and sometimes these things just kind of, I don't know. There's a certain sort of magic to it, right? Like when you're confident and everything's going well, then just you get these bounces. The ball bounces in when otherwise it doesn't. And so, there's a little bit of that. It's like because things are not going well.
But there's a lot of like misconnections, right? They're not like
exactly.
Going at each other, a lot of turnovers.
You can always see like, if they, because I mean that's true really for all in soccer. A lot is like a lot of stuff has to go right for the ball to go in, and you can see like 2 more things needed to happen for that to work, and so you can see how this could get better quickly if there was some flow. And I think if Gundogan plays in the midfield, that makes a big difference. I think I agree with you. I think the midfield's usually pretty good. I don't know. And Hansi Flick, I don't know. He starts Havertz, which is good. He didn't always do that. Although Füllkrug is probably still the best option at the 9. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow against Colombia. But they have the home advantage in the Euro. There's definitely going to be some expectation. But I guess they're managing that expectation well. Like we're getting to the point where we're not.
The good news is that there's no BSing anymore. They're bad, and they must know they're bad, right?
Right.
The last 2, like I remember 5 years ago when all this started, when the bad Germany started. The slogan was "Best Never Rest," right? And they were like 2018, they're like, we're the best. And they had a terrible World Cup. People were like, oh, well, that was a fluke, and there was off-field stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Then COVID happened. Then the Euros happened. The Euros were not super convincing. We got out of the group. We're eliminated by England in Wembley. Don't have to remind ourselves. And, we got to the round of 16. People are like, well, whatever, 50-50, England in Wembley. Good for them, they won. But it's like, I don't know. It's just like our old quality was destroyed that team. And then came this World Cup, and we didn't get out of the group again. And it's like, It's not a
And
bunch
again,
of flukes.
it was a
Something's
little.
happening here.
Well, I mean, this was
So,
again. I would say,
but for the German national team,
if you're
they
bringing,
know they're bad.
but
Flick's
if
got
you're
pressure on
talking
him.
about the World Cup, they were not terrible. The Japan game was really unlucky.
Hold on now.
I think they had
Japan
a lot
were
of
good, but Germany's supposed to beat Japan.
yeah,
So,
but
like,
I mean, sometimes shit happens, right? I think Germany's created the most chances of any team in the group stage or something like that. There were a lot of stats in our favor. The ball just didn't go in, and I think that's where we still are.
Let's hope they're not saying the things that you're saying, because this is bad for their mentality. They need to be shamed properly, like a good German boy, and they need to be told. They need to know they're bad.
Here I go with the nuance. Here I go with the nuance. I'm sorry.
No, you're not wrong. But I don't like. You understand what I'm saying? You're not allowed to say 3 tournaments in a row we were unlucky, even if maybe you can prove that to be true.
No, I think it was
bad mentality.
I thought it was very different. I think in 2018, we deserved to go. We deserved to go out, and we were lucky to be as close as I mean, I think the Sweden game was that last second.
Right.
I think that time we were bad, and the midfield was. I mean, I think Löw was in his Vegas phase. The midfield was set up poorly.
Right. Well, and also in the Euros, England was a better team than us. We lost to the better team.
Yeah,
we were not favorites, so which we should have been, the quality we have. And then, what a World Cup felt differently. I know it was very last minute in Japan, and there's the zoom in. Was that ball out of bounds and all that stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
But still, it's like you're Germany. You're 4-time world winners. You have one of the best leagues in the world, the biggest soccer system in the world. You need to take this in control of yourself. So you got the Euros coming up. You need to, like Steve Martin says, make yourself so talented that no one can ignore you.
That's not where we're at right now. No, we're not. We do not have offensively. We do not have that undeniable talent.
And I'm hoping that they know that, because mentally the pressure is good for them to know they have to be at their best. That there's no gifts anymore. That this tournament is important. The next 2 tournaments in Germany and in the United States, the Schnitzel Boy Cup, we call it.
Schnitzel Boy Cup.
I don't know. I mean, I would hate.
FBref doesn't publish XG for friendlies, so we don't know. Doesn't matter.
Well, I would hate for them to be like. I would hate for the German national team to be like, "Oh, we were unlucky. Whatever, we're fine." You know what I mean? I don't like that mentality. They need to be like, we have to be undeniably successful now. We have to be but we have to figure this out. We have to become friends on this team.
Well, but I'm not saying they need to think that way, but you have to. But I think, as a watcher of games, you sometimes, right? You don't always get what you deserve. That's why I was. Well, anyway, that's this is the US thing. But it's like sometimes you do everything right and you still lose. Like the game is weird that way. And also, there was a lot going against us in that group stage. That big win of Spain against Costa Rica that sort of threw the goal differential math off. And anyway, whatever. I thought 2018 they deserved to go out. This time they were a little unfortunate. But I think that's what I'm saying. I think this team does not have that undeniability. They don't have that, and so they seem to be getting unfortunate a lot because of that.
Yeah, where my mentality is like Serge Gnabry needs to be like, I should stop flying to Paris every Wednesday. I should actually work on my form this week. And Jamil Musiala, Flick needs to stop setting up for hero ball. He needs to just let him. They need to protect him so he can be at his best. It's the parallels between Germany and the United States are very interesting, because Musiala is going through like a Pulisic qualifier phase right now, where he's like just hero balling it over and over again, which is where he's just trying to run at the whole team. When Jermaine Jones was on the Alexi Lalas podcast a couple days ago, and he mentioned when Christian Pulisic came into the national, he was like 16. Crazy how long he's with the national team. All the senior guys, Jermaine and Clint, they protected him so he could be himself. And then be at his best, which is what it was like. And they all left, and there was a younger team, and it was a total different role for Pulisic. And that's why we see him doing this hero ball stuff. And just over this past couple months, we've seen something differently. Again, we'll talk about that later. But like, so I'm looking at Jamil Musiala, who's a young dude, but he's like been the hot ticket for about a year now, right? And now he's on the field and he's just running everybody by himself, and no one's protecting him. And they need to figure that out.
And he's had some moments where that's worked for Bayern. He hasn't had a lot of those.
That's worked for Germany,
for the national team, yeah.
Right. So we need to. That's on Flick. He needs to figure that out, and the players need to figure that out. And that's on Gnabry, and that's on Thomas Muller and his guy. That's on the guys they have. That's on Sané. Like these guys play together at the club level. They're not all strangers to each other. So they just need to figure that out, man. I don't know. They need to get Kai Havertz in there. They need to get Nicholas Füllkrug in there. And they need to figure out how these guys can get to know each other, know their passes, learn how to score goals together.
Yeah, we'll see how Havertz does it. Arsenal, he's going to fit in well with all the musketeer-looking dudes on Arsenal. That's like the team of musketeers.
What do you mean musketeer? What, they all have?
They all sort of look. They all sort of have that, like that. Like whether it's Martinelli or Odegaard or whatever. They all look like they could be. If you were looking to cast a Three Musketeer remake, you could do a lot worse than.
Do they have big curly hair and beards?
No, not necessarily. Like, there's the skinny mustaches, or some of them have a more wavy. It's like they're all kind of. But I feel there's a certain musketeer look to the Arsenal team, and I think
not Matt Turner.
Havertz has that. I mean, even Matt Turner, I guess, right? He could. I mean, he's more of like he would be more like the sword carrier or whatever for them. But he would fit. He would fit into that movie too.
Yeah, he's the Charlie Sheen character. So going back to the chat, we got Hans Wolf working with his children to watch Transformers. Which one? There's so many.
He's not paying full attention to us today. That's okay. That's okay.
That's fine. I love the original Transformers. Well, the one from the mid-aughts. The one from the mid-'80s I've never seen, the cartoon one. But I used to love Transformers as a kid. Those are my favorite toys. They're talking Hans Wolf, Daniel Young are talking stuff.
Hans Wolf is letting us
target capacity,
inviting us to the bus.
Yeah. So ticketing is done with I guess he's hoping to get it done with the American Outlaws, the Bronx chapter. If we hit our target capacity, it should be $60 each round trip with the buses. And cool, he's organizing a real bus thing here.
It's going to be fun.
The chapter, hopefully you can get group text. Yeah, I hope so too. Hopefully they don't. Oh, this is a whole nother discussion.
Hopefully the tickets are not $300. They're not going to be. I mean, I'm hoping to get tickets through the DFB and be in the German section.
That's what I'm saying. Though that's going to be cheap, right? Because DFB, they don't price gouge. They don't offer expensive tickets.
I mean, they're not going to have as many people probably. I don't know.
Yeah, all I know is that it's a different hour. When USA played Canada in the final, fans were only in the end zones because those are the only affordable tickets.
Oh,
all the midfield levels were empty.
Last night, you mean? Yeah.
All the midfield levels were empty, and that's a very clear message to the U.S. Soccer Federation or Congo, whoever, to be like, these are too expensive. So, and clearly they didn't price them lower. Like, I don't understand. This is a different ticketing rant. I don't understand why tickets aren't based on demand anymore. Like, tickets used to go, like, if an event wasn't selling, tickets would get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Dynamic pricing. It seems like that seems.
Now they're just holding it. They're like, this costs $300. We don't care if you're going to buy this ticket or not.
Well, I think they have.
Clearly, it doesn't because no one's buying it.
I mean, I think they have in the past sort of found a sweet spot where, like, if we make them expensive enough, we don't need that many. But I don't think. Yeah, I think for this one, that was probably miscalculated. I mean, it's also Las Vegas is kind of a weird.
There were other excuses. The big thing was they sold double headers, and most of the tickets were sold to Mexican fans.
Mexicans, and they were pissed and didn't come.
They left. I don't even think they even went to the third place match. But I guess they didn't resell their tickets, or I don't know why they didn't. I don't know.
Well, so that is part of not exactly a line of people wanting to. Yeah,
but that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing we've talked about before, where U.S. soccer needs to be better at. It's, again, a different hour. We'll talk about that next hour. I just feel that U.S. soccer just wants to sell their ticket, and they would love to sell to away fans because they know that they'll pay more money for it. Where, like, I've looked this up before. If you go to watch a German national team game, It was like a Germany versus France game. The tickets were 30 euros. They just want people there.
It's definitely. I mean,
care
that's also
about-
just Europe versus the US. It's like
Right.
things are not as expensive. I mean, I'm on this DFB mailing list, and I think the other day I just for fun, like there was some VIP situation, and it wasn't that much money. It was like maybe 200 euro or whatever for a ticket. But this was including a
Right, the
meal,
full
and you were in the
package,
you know, and you remember Red Bull Arena was like supposed to be
right.
$12,000 for 15 people. It's like something. It's like you know, like almost $1,000 a person. Yeah.
LAFC had Bayern München night on Wednesday.
Mm.
I had tickets to it. I didn't go
Mm.
because I was really kind of now it feels like tired and crap, and I kind of regret not going. But the Bundesliga Meisterschale was there. Bernie the Bear was there. The MLS Cup was there. It was like a fun.
I don't even know about this bear. What is the bear called?
There's a Bayern München has a mascot called Bernie the Bear. I don't know how old he is.
Bernie?
Bernie, yeah, Berni.
Like my
Bernie.
dad. That's my dad's name. Bernie
Is
the
he-
bear. That's a
Is your dad in the costume?
no, but that's his. Huh? Okay.
Bernie
Yeah,
Sanders the Bear. No, I don't know. It's Bernie is a German name, like your dad. There's a bear. He's around. He's been around for a while. I don't know how old he
All
is.
right.
Maybe he's new. But I missed, unfortunately. But tickets for that specific event, for an MLS game and a scarf and to watch the the cheapest tickets were $88. And this is a Wednesday night
Yeah, that's a lot.
for an MLS game. And it's like,
Mhm.
this is 3 times the price of the Germany-France UEFA Nations League game from last, and then certain so you see the Messi tickets, and just like tickets for US soccer and American soccer is expensive.
It seems like
And
that's
in
also
Europe,
an
it's
LA
half
thing.
the
You don't
price.
play.
It
It's
is
not
an
that
LA
much
thing.
for. It's not that much for NYCFC. Nothing. Nowhere near that.
True, I guess. But we on Reddit we see lists again, wrong hour. But I think St. Louis is even more expensive than LAFC.
Well, all of this. I
That's-
mean, once we get a stadium, this is also going to increase, of course, because there's going to be scarcity.
and
Although,
speaking of US soccer alone, when I checked this Germany-France game, USA was playing Peru in a friendly, and their tickets were twice the price, at least.
yeah.
And they've
No,
only
it's-
gone higher. It's only
it's an
gone
American
higher.
thing. America likes, we like to make money here in America.
But I agree with you. However, it's a free market. That's why, in my opinion, I'm confused
You just make
as to why it's
dynamic-
not
right.
demand-based. Like, the prices should reflect the demand, in my opinion. So I feel
I
US
mean, to
soccer
a
doesn't
point.
do that.
Yeah, to a point. But yeah, I don't know.
All
Well,
I'm saying is that this Germany USA game, get tickets to DFB. Hopefully, they'll be like $25. That's what I want. That's what I'm wishing on you guys.
Gundogan is not going to BVB.
That's a shame. Bellingham went to Real Madrid for $120 million.
Bellingham's going to Real Madrid. Gundogan says going back to the Bundesliga is not in his plans.
So off to
It
Real
seems
Madrid he
like
goes.
it seems no, he's going to Barcelona perhaps, or he might still return to Man City. They want him back, and he hasn't said he's not going to. So we'll see.
Time to win more titles. Giovanni Reina has been transfer listed by Borussia Dortmund for 20 million euros. This is the asking
When you
price.
say that transfer listed, what is that? What does that mean?
I think that means from a man who plays Football Manager, the video game. When you transfer list someone, that means they're available for purchase. Like if it means they're unwanted, essentially. Not necessarily unwanted, but the club has decided we'll transfer list this guy. From what I've read, it's in the wake of all his injuries. He's so injury prone.
Interesting.
They're
All
like,
right.
let's sell him. Let's sell him for 20 million euros. Let's get some money off this guy. Like, if a club wants him, I think it is $20 million asking price. All Köln would have to do is call and be like, I've got $20 million. And then that's
We're gonna
that.
do it.
Then they would negotiate. The club already put their thing out there.
Well, should we talk about it more on the other side?
I mean, it's a Borussia Dortmund. I think we have a lot to talk about on the other side. All
That's
I'm
true.
saying, I mean, it's related.
No. I'm just
But-
making. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's not relevant. I'm just saying we're also. This is also the time where we're trying to transition.
Oh, that's right. We're at 45. So all I'm saying. So one quick thought, then end the show.
Okay.
Gio Reyna has been great coming off the bench. Spark Club. He's only 20. I hope he stays. I hope he earns himself a starting spot. I hope that's his assignment. That's what I hope. If he goes to another club, let's say Werder Bremen wants to buy him, just Beispiel, just an example, and he becomes a week in, week out player for Werder Bremen, and he's a key figure and he crushes for them, that's fine too. I just want him playing, happy, confident at the highest level possible. That's all I want from Gio.
20 million is kind of a lot for these teams, for these mid-table. I can't see Werder or Köln or any of those kinds of teams spending 20 million on Gio Reyna. That's kind of that's a big transfer for them, and he's not a sure enough thing, I think.
Well, let's say he goes to Brighton. Someone just went to Brighton. Someone just went to Brighton, like from a big club.
People go to Brighton.
Yeah, but it was one of those surprising ones where it's like, was it one of the Bayern München players? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Sorry about the terrible transfer. I remember reading it's like so-and-so decided to leave RB Leipzig and go to Brighton or something. I forgot who it was. But it was one of those things where he's like one of Germany's biggest players, and then Brighton outspent the club.
I mean, the Premier League just is the Super League. They have so much more money than anybody else, and even the littler teams there. So
maybe Gio Reyna will go to Brighton. How about that? They can pay 20 million.
Or yeah, they could, but yeah, I mean, Leeds paid 35 million for Jorginho Ruta, which I'm going to make fun of until
forever.
So, all right, here we go.
What do you want to happen to Gio Reyna? What should happen to Gio Reyna next?
I don't know.
You don't care?
Italy.
Yeah, I think he'd do great in Italy.
Everybody
all the U.S. boys go to Juventus.
Yeah, they should all go to Italy. Yeah.
All right, cheers, everybody. We'll see you in the USA Hour, or if you're just in it for the Germany stuff, we'll see you next week where we talk Germany, Colombia, and let's hope they do well tomorrow.
Yeah, let's hope the result is all that matters, says Hansi Flick.
Says Hansi Flick. Well, should the performance be decent too? I don't know. Anyway, cheers. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends we got merch.
Etsy, mugs.